Where's this?
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Honey!
What?
Where's my super suit?
Assemble.
Arlen started out with a Rusty Smith Corona and built himself into one of the best-selling mystery writers of all time.
All right, so now we get into one of the more recent entries, Knives Out. So Rian Johnson has had a very interesting career up to this point. And what I will give him credit for is that at the very least, he is always trying to do something new in terms of he is trying to be subversive, but in a way that is trying to add something new to a genre, not just to blatantly make fun of it.
30 languages, over 80 million copies sold. You guys fans?
I mean, I don't do much fiction reading myself.
Big fan. I'm a big fan.
His biggest trip up has always been the fact that he thinks himself to be smarter than the audience is, to the point where it turns him kind of into a pretentious douche tool. Key in point, The Last Jedi, obviously. We're to the point where the stuff that he clearly cares about and really is passionate about and knows what he wants to do is his greatest strength in that movie, but everything else kind of just falls by the wayside to the point where it literally feels like he just doesn't care about it, and then claims that the rest of that overly sloppy movie is just subversive.
Who is that guy?
Mr. Blanc is a private investigator of great renown.
I read a tweet about a New Yorker article about you. You're famous.
This film, on the other hand, it is very interesting in terms of how its structure plays out, obviously playing around with the typical murder mystery formula. And it's a very crowd-pleasing movie. It's very fun. I can't accuse this movie of being blatantly terrible in terms of its script is enjoyable, the characters are fully fleshed out, and for the most part, really enjoyable to watch. And everyone does give a really good performance. I can't say that there's anybody in this movie that gives a bad performance. I would say there are two people of this cast that just didn't need to be there at all because they're given literally nothing to do. And that's probably my biggest grievance with the movie, is that for a movie that, again, is one of the last movies of the year that is pitched on the size of its cast alone. I mean, you got Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Ana de Armas, Jaden Martell, Catherine Langford, Christopher Plummer. It's like, this is a gigantic cast. And out of that whole cast, maybe 5 of them are actually given something to do? Maybe? Where I'll give credit is that Daniel Craig once again proves that when he's not playing James Bond, goddamn, he is a good actor, particularly with doing those southern accents. Christopher Plummer is a joy to watch. Chris Evans is really good, finally getting something to do other than playing Captain America. Ana de Armas, I enjoy her, but I feel like she's really held back by the script, and she's got this one character flaw that's used as a joke, but it really just ends up just kind of getting in the way and proving to be like really convenient to the plot overall. And so it's a good, I would recommend this as a good crowd-pleasing movie, but overall, in terms of one of my favorite movies of the year, I can't say that it is that. But in terms of a step in the right direction for Rian Johnson, I would absolutely say this is that.
I think you have something you want to tell me.